Hey guys, today I bring you a simple path tutorial on basically how to make a cutscene, or how to use paths in general, really. So this is what I've made for this guy named HaikusFromBudda, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm on that, but still. So what you do is just pick up a sword, go over here, you see a giant goblin over there. You're like, dude, I want to kill him, but I don't want to get close to him because he might kill me. So you press B to throw your sword, goes in cutscene mode. Throw your sword, kills the goblin, and you're back to playing. Woohoo! Yay! I can control my character just as I would normally. Another funny thing that I did with this is, if you don't have a sword and you press B to throw a sword, the goblin starts to chase you, and you're like, no, stop it! Stop it now! Pick up the sword. It's him. And then the guy he was trying to eat gets all glitched out. But yeah. Alright, so pretty much how I made this was I used paths and logic cubes and sword and the player. First thing I'll go into, I guess, is the player. Actually, I don't want to go into player first. I'm going to go into the activated logic cube, which pretty much just means, or pretty much just says, if it's always interactable, so you can just interact with it, whatever. When Woodland Peasant has the sword equipped, or equipment equals sword, pretty much the exact same thing, and is interacted, set the global variable cutscene equal to true, and then destroy itself, so that you can't interact with it anymore. And if you don't have the sword equipped, then it'll set player scene equal to true. Then now you're like, well, what does the cutscene do? Well, you go into here. It says global cutscene sets the first-person camera without controls. Transition type ease between transitions. Pretty much just means have first-person camera on this cube, this logic cube, without controls, obviously, and then it should ease between its previous camera. It goes into letterbox mode, which just makes it look more like a cutscene. Look at target sword, so pretty much you'll just look at the sword. Then it'll move along the path, which I created here, right here. Named it camera path, and moves at speed of 0.3. And then after it becomes true, Woodland Peasant, whenever your player is throwing, set thrown equals to true, which isn't really necessary, but I just did it like that. And then when thrown equals true, sword, make the sword spin so it looks like it's like tumbling through the air, and then make the sword move along the path, sword path, at speed 0.5 with flying. With flying just means that it won't plummet to the ground instantaneously, so it'll actually be able to follow the path properly. And after 5 seconds, after the cutscene starts, destroy the sword, look at the Goblin Bruiser, kill the Goblin Bruiser, and 2 seconds after you kill the Goblin Bruiser, set the cutscene equal to false, so that it won't continuously run this line of code and whatnot. And then if you go into the player, you notice that when global cutscene is true, as soon as it becomes true, player offset equals 0, and then player offset z increment by 1 pretty much just means, and then the position equals logic cube position plus player offset, and then it's forward equals south. All that means is that the player will be placed 1 meter behind this logic cube, and then be facing that direction over there, or the same direction as the goblin, for instance. And then after 2 seconds, throw the object, and there you go. Throw your sword is what it would throw, because that's the only thing you have equipped currently. And then when not global cutscene, so basically when the cutscene isn't going down, when it isn't happening, you'll have all this. It'll just be the normal character, except for the fact that it'll ease between transition from the cutscene to the player's point of view. And then the sword, just a default sword, really. That's all it is. Just when not equipped, interacted, it equipped me. And yeah. So, give me a second here. what HaikusFromBudda was asking is that he wants the camera to move on a certain path. How to make transitions with the character playing to a cutscene with the camera flying to certain details. Pretty much just deactivate the camera within the player, and then just have the logic cube being, the way I do it is just first person camera without controls, letterbox, look at target, whatever you want to look at, and then there you go. If you want it to fly, just move it along the path, and I actually want to do this. Here we go, now it might look nicer. What am I saying? And also, how does the path tool work? I did not mean to do that. Pretty much what you do is you just obviously go into your props, find the path, place it, and you can just drag it. You can, camera, stop it. Alright, there we go. You can just drag each of these points along, add more, or get rid of some. And, yeah, another thing to note is that if you go on properties and path, you can change it to be curved instead of just straight, so it looks a lot smoother with its actions. You'd have to have, obviously, more than 2, because 2 is just a line, not a 3-dimensional thing. Whatever. So there's your curved line right there. I use that with both of these, but yeah. Can I make a path? Can I make it? If I want something to move along a path, can I make it go along a path if it's an item like a character has? Like, say, a sword thrown and then have it go on the path? That's exactly what I just did, just because... the reason I did that was because he asked it. And, what are good examples of when using a logic cube? What is its purpose? Basically, there's a lot of different things that a logic cube can be used for. Most commonly, it's used as a code declutterer, I guess. Just move a lot of your code, like specific genred code, into your logic cube, and then to keep it like away from the player's brain or an item's brain that has something else going on, so that it just looks neater. It's kind of like pages as well. Like you can see here, a page, voila. And then to go more difficult stages of coding, you can go into multi-brains and I don't know, what else would you say? Yeah, pretty much just multi-brains channels and whatnot. Which I don't want to really explain that right now, so I'll keep you guys pondering the idea forever. Well, pretty much what they are is just like, so say like you're writing actual real programming languages, whatnot. You have your default like class, and then you can have subclasses within that class. Pretty much what a multi-brain is when you add the brain, you want it to be the default class, and then each item that you have, or each ability, or anything you want to say, that has the same traits as this, but just slightly tweaked, is going to be your subclass. So that your item is the subclass, your logic cube is the big default brain. So the way that I'm going to use this in one of my games is I'm going to have items that you can purchase in a shop, which is not anything new, obviously. But the thing is that the items will affect your health and mana and defenses and such. So basically, they will affect your stats, and all I have to do is just set the default, the amount, like mana equals 100, health equals 50, and then have this default cube, which will set the player's brain, or set the player's health and mana to add 50 and 100 for the mana. And I can just keep adding items easily by just stating those those 2 lines for mana and health, and then just tie them to this brain, and then there you go. I have a new item. So it's really easy for like expanding games, remixing games. It just makes it a lot easier for the user to basically manipulate the way the game is played. So, or not necessarily for the user, but for the creator to add features and whatnot to a game. So, yeah. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I think that'll be it for now. I'm going to show you it one last time. When I press B, I pick up the sword, go over here, throw the sword, wait for it, throws the sword. Oh, I changed the camera. Oh, it bugged out. Give me a sec here, I'll fix that. It's not really a fixing thing, it's just a bug with paths currently. So let's show that again. So you'll throw the sword. You're dead, son. And it goes back to here. Yay! Woohoo! That actually looks nicer than the first one I showed. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later. Wait for it. Woo! Woo! Big side steps, man. It's ridiculous. I don't know how these people do it, but they do. Alright, see ya. See you later. Alright, bye.